Sir Tom Jones, at 85, remains a commanding presence on stage, but the weight of decades in life's personal trials has quietly reshaped his artistry. Once the symbol of raw charisma and seductive energy, he now performs with deliberate care, every note measured, every breath precious. The legendary Welsh singer has survived fame, scandal, and loss, and the quiet afterglow of decades in music reveals a man confronting mortality, memory, and legacy. Audiences see the glittering image of a stage icon, but backstage the story is more intimate. A man balancing age, loss, and the demands of a career that has defined him for more than half a century. His life is a tension between public spectacle and private reflection, survival and regret, effort and artistry, all heightened by the passage of time, the calm before the show. Backstage in Germany, the atmosphere is heavy, not with excitement, but with anticipation. At 85, Jones approaches the stage with the mindfulness of a craftsman rather than the adrenaline-fueled energy of youth. Every movement, from adjusting the cuff of his jacket to stepping toward the lights, is deliberate. The audience chants Tom in unison, many of them young enough to have been born long after his early hits. Yet they know every lyric. This scene illustrates the contrast between public perception and private reality. The crowd sees an icon, but up close, there is vulnerability. The careful breathing, the slight tremble in his fingers, hints at both age and awareness of his own limitations. Performing is no longer automatic. It is labor and meditation. At this stage, Tom Jones embodies the delicate balance between effort and artistry, honoring his voice as both instrument and identity. The weight of loss. April 2016 marked a profound turning point. Linda Trenchard, his wife of nearly 60 years, passed away after a rapid battle with lung cancer. Their shared history, beginning in Pontypridd, Wales, encompassed decades of highs and lows, marriage before fame, loyalty amid chaos, and steadfast companionship, despite his extramarital encounters. Her death was not met with public dramatics, but quiet confirmation. The grief that followed was intensely personal. The Los Angeles mansion, filled with decades of shared memories, became unbearable. The echoes of a life built together weighed too heavily. His return to the UK was less about romanticized coming home than a practical need to navigate a world that suddenly felt empty. The silence he encountered then mirrored a larger theme in his life. Moments that the public never sees, grief, regret, and memory, shape the man behind the music. Returning to the stage. After Linda's death, Jones continued performing, understanding that the stage offered structure and control amid emotional chaos. On stage, his delivery shifted, slower, heavier, intentional. Notes were no longer chased but placed, every breath calibrated. Songs like Delilah carry the same power, but now resonate with an additional layer of lived experience. The audience senses the authenticity of effort rather than the ease of youthful talent. The post-show ritual is understated. No lingering bows, just water and solitude. The roar outside fades quickly, leaving him with silence, which has become a canvas for reflection. Performing at this stage of life is not about proving capability, but maintaining momentum. Each song is a dialogue with time, audience, and self, illustrating the delicate choreography between public adoration and private endurance that defines his legacy. The complexity of personal choices. Jones's life has not been without controversy. During the height of his fame, he admitted to numerous affairs while remaining married to Linda. These choices shaped both his public persona and private reality. A paternity claim in the late 1980s introduced Jonathan Berkery, a son with whom Jones never established a meaningful relationship. Legally, obligations were met, but emotional connections were sparse. This duality, loyalty to his wife versus absence in fatherhood, demonstrates the complicated human calculus behind fame. At 85, these unfinished chapters weigh more heavily, illustrating that time magnifies the consequences of decisions made decades prior. The public narrative often simplifies these complexities into tales of fidelity or scandal, but the personal truth is textured, encompassing responsibility, distance, and unresolved regret, all of which accompany the silence after applause fades. navigating legacy and mentorship. In recent years, Jones has embraced the role of mentor, especially on platforms like The Voice UK. Here, he leverages decades of experience to guide young artists, shifting from performer to advisor. This transition reflects both an acceptance of age and a desire to channel knowledge without seeking applause. He remains present but in a different capacity, shaping careers while processing his own history. This role also underscores the contrast between public myth and private reality. Where once he captivated audiences with charm and charisma, now he captivates by example, demonstrating the value of discipline, breath control, and career strategy. His life becomes a study in evolving identity, revealing how one reconciles personal history with professional longevity, reconciling fame and personal reality. The stark contrast between public perception and private experience persists throughout Jones's life. While audiences remember a flamboyant, high-energy performer, the reality of aging, health concerns, and personal loss reshapes his existence. At 85, the demands of touring are no longer met with invincibility, but with careful calculation. Recent respiratory infections underscore the fragility of a voice that has defined him. Fame once offered escape and indulgence. Now it requires reflection and adaptation. He continues because singing is central to identity, not merely performance. This tension between expectation and limitation humanizes a figure often idolized, highlighting the resilience required to maintain artistry amid the physical, emotional, and relational costs of decades under the spotlight. Age, reflection, and regret. Aging brings unavoidable reflection. Jones confronts both personal loss and the consequences of past choices. Regret, particularly regarding missed opportunities to connect with family, resonates loudly at this stage. Decisions once manageable in youth become pronounced with time. Grief and aging introduce a new lens through which the audience experiences familiar songs. Each note carries accumulated experience, and the silence between performances magnifies memory. Jones navigates this internal arithmetic daily, balancing continued public performance with private introspection. This quiet accountability to oneself, separate from audience expectations, marks the evolution from iconic figure to reflective elder, illustrating that true legacy encompasses both accomplishment and reconciliation with human imperfection. The physicality of performance at 85. By 2025, even routine performances carry calculated challenges. Respiratory infections, once minor, become existential concerns for a singer whose life relies on lung capacity. Stagecraft transforms from instinct to strategy, pauses lengthened, breath controlled, micro-adjustments governing every phrase. Physicality now dictates pacing, expression, and endurance. These subtle adaptations are invisible to most fans, but crucial to sustaining artistry. The discipline required is extraordinary, and the audience's perception of effortless performance masks intense internal labor. This ongoing negotiation between body, age, and craft demonstrates a commitment not to nostalgia, but to the integrity of work. Effort replaces automaticity, elevating the performance from spectacle to a testament of survival, artistry, and lived experience. Concluding reflections. Sir Tom Jones at 85 is a portrait of resilience, discipline, and complex humanity. Fame, scandal, loss, and aging converge to create a narrative that is richer than nostalgia. He continues to perform, not for legacy alone, but because artistry is inseparable from identity. The public sees an icon. Backstage, a man balances memory, regret, and physical limitation with care and purpose. Every performance is both a demonstration of skill and a meditation on survival. Audience applause fades, leaving quiet inventories of relationships, choices, and time. The story of Sir Tom Jones illustrates the delicate interplay between myth and reality, desire and responsibility, youth and reflection. His life and music, intertwined, reveal the profound humanity behind the legend.